Hello YouTube. This is a different video from the ones I've made literally past few minutes ago. Jesus Christ, what are y'all doing up there? It's a shift. It's a change in the way that things are going in the construction world. I've noticed a change. The rise of construction managers. You know, this is more on the industrial end versus the residential end. This is more towards the the building of city buildings, city sidewalks, all this stuff. They have these construction managers, which makes no sense at all. You have your laborers, you have your operators, you have your foremans, and then now you have construction managers, and on top of them, superintendents. Usually, there wasn't any construction managers used to. The foreman was the construction manager. It's coming to the point to where they want you to, they want, okay, not necessarily they as in like the corporations or the industry or anyone else, but these companies are pushing towards a not necessarily, kind of the companies kind of it's kind of its own little thing that's really become popular here lately. They want you to have a bachelor's degree in it, and it always cracks me up because your laborers, your operators, and your foremans are not going to really respect you if you have no ground time. If you have never been on a construction site before, they will not respect you at all. I'm just saying it. They're not going to respect you. They are not going to. They're going to look at you up and down. They're going to laugh at you. The moment you pull up in that white company truck, you pull out with your little dressy type boots. Your not chinos. Your little crap. What's the gay looking boots that guys wear? I can't remember, anyways. The moment and you're wearing your flannel shirt and your safety vest, guys are not going to respect you. Now, you might get some respect if you pull out a pack of Winston's or some Copenhagen Long Cut, but and that's it's just the sad truth. I say it looking at the side of a laborer, an operator, and a foreman of a guy who has been in the actual construction part of it, not the borderline, not the management, HR, PR side of it, which is basically a construction manager. You're part of management. You're not part of the workers. You're not part of the craft. You're a manager. So guys are not going to respect you, especially if you have had zero ground time. Excuse me. My biggest advice for people who do want to go into construction management is get ground time. First of all, you're still going to make pretty good. You're still going to make pretty good, depending on which part of the country you're in, depending on your how fast you're able to learn, etc., what you're willing to do. You're still going to make pretty darn good. And the big push as a construction manager is, you're going to make $120,000 a year. No, you're not going to. You're going to probably start out about 50, 60, the same as guys who are laborers. So you're going to be, even though you're not going to be, even though that you're not going to be doing the hard physical work, you're going to be making the same, which is nice, but these guys are not going to respect you. And by the time that you move up to 120,000, maybe a little more, depending on your area, depending on where you're working at, these are just averages, those guys are also going to move up also. And the pay difference between a foreman on one of these jobs and a construction manager really isn't that big of a difference. I mean, it is, but it isn't. You're really looking at $5,000 to $10,000 a year, in all honesty. And then you're not going to have the, let's say if you are working, you are part of a union, you're not going to have the union benefits, even though the union is going to take out. You're not going to have those union benefits. You're not going to you're going to have of course you're going to have retirement and stuff, but you're not going to have those union benefits, which really, I'm not using that as a selling point. That's just the way it is. But, if you get fired and you're a union employee, they're going to fight to get your job back, whatever. If you are not a union employee and you get fired, sorry about your luck, So And then my whole thing is it's the respect standpoint. It's the respect standpoint. They are not going to respect you. Anything you say, they're going to buck at it. They're going to be like, well, we need to do it this way. And truly enough, because they know the best way to do it, the easiest, the most efficient way to do it. You don't. You just know what someone else who's never actually worked on the ground is telling you to do. A lot of superintendents never been on the ground. They don't know what it's like to get up every morning at 4:30, 3:30, 4 o'clock, between 3:30 and 5:30 in the morning, you get adjusted and put on a pair of boots. Your back's hurting. You've slept 4 or 5 hours. You're tired because you work all day. 10, 12 hours a day. You get home, you're tired, but you have stuff to do. So you take a shower, you do everything. And you hit snooze so many times, and you show up on the job site right as you're supposed to show up. Blah blah blah. And then do that again. Do the whole cycle again. At the same time, your back's hurting. But you don't want to turn it in on workman's comp because you've been through so much BS. You've been through so much hard work out here that you're not really exactly sure when your back actually started hurting or whenever. You're like, well, when did you start noticing it? Well, do you want the first time that it popped and I about fell to the ground and started crying, or you want the 100th time it's happened? And I've just been feeding it with cigarettes and caffeine ever since. It's the best treatment that there is in the world. But it's really, and I've really read into the construction management part, and I'm glad that they've added really added a job put in there. It's different from a project manager actually that I've read. That they're supposed to be more hands-on, more in the field, but at the same time you get people that don't know what the heck they're doing. They're trying to tell. It's like engineers. It's like a mechanical engineer trying to tell a mechanic how to do his job. You've never been to a mechanic shop. You think going to a mechanic shop is when you go to one of those 5-minute oil change places. You pull up, they change your oil. They just drop the oil pan, or not the oil pan, but they just pull out the drain plug. They don't even change your filter. They fill it back up with oil. Who knows what oil they're going to be using. And then you drive off. That's what they think a mechanic shop is. Just some dumb guy getting paid $15 to $20 an hour while they're sitting there making six figures. Just pushing pins. But it just is what it is. It's my thing. Respect for me is a big thing. Respect really is for me. So my biggest advice to young people wanting to get involved in the construction business, the construction industry is get some time on the ground. Truly take your time to learn. Understand what these guys go through every single day. And you think, well, they're just a dumb construction worker. They didn't want to go to college. That might not have been their option in life. I see that so many times, and so many people have said, even when I went to college, and I was working in construction, and then afterwards I was working with disenfranchised children. Is that I've had so many people tell me in college, professors actually, which is freaking hilarious. And even the kids and their parents, they're like, well, if you want to go be a construction worker and just make $60,000 a year, okay. First of all, professor, you're just making $65,000. You have college debt. You have all this other crap on top of it, and there's nothing wrong with college. I don't care. And I understand people in different parts of the United States. For Rudy up north, 60,000 is like chump change, but. Down here in the South, it used to be a pretty good, annual wage. But, I've had professors tell me, if you just want to be a dumb construction worker, I think that's really rude. A construction worker built your house, a construction worker built the room we're working in, a construction worker built the facilities in which they make the technology and that we are using. So, just so disrespectful, I really think so. Be like, well, if you want to get out there and work 12 hours a day, if you want to be successful in life, you're going to have to work at it. It doesn't matter what it is. That's always been my big thing. It doesn't matter what you want to be in life. You're going to have to put in the long hours. A construction worker might physically put in 12 hours a day, but when he goes home, he doesn't have to think about it. Business owners, they might only work 8 hours a day. But from the time they wake up till the time they go to sleep, even in their sleep, they're thinking about, okay, I got to put food on, my family's table. I got to make sure the business is successful, so my employees are able to put food on. My employees are able to put food on their family's table. So it comes down to all that type of crap. So that's all I got. I'm gonna quit rambling. Adios.